What's up, everybody? My name is Brad, and welcome to week 16 of the Book Report, my weekly check-in where I talk about everything I've been reading, what I'm currently reading, and what I'm planning to read next. Today, I've got my Star Wars shirt on purposely because Andor Season 2 starts later tonight. 3-episode premiere. I'm super pumped about it. Not book-related, but side tangent. Oh, Andor's amazing. If you haven't watched it, it's just everything you could ever want. Even if you don't like Star Wars, I still think you like Andor, because it's just this excellent political spy thriller. The best Star Wars thing since Empire Strikes Back, in my opinion, and overall the best written and acted Star Wars out of anything, if we're being honest. So I'm super pumped for that. I know that's not book related, but I had to mention it real quick because I'm really excited for it. And speaking of TV, another thing, really quick, I won't spend too long. But The Last of Us Season 2 started. I really enjoyed Season 1. I've never played the games, so I don't know what's going on with the story. But Season 2 is like 2, maybe 3 episodes into it. And whatever the most recent episode is, everyone was just like losing their minds on social media about it. Saying, it broke them. They can't forgive the show or whatever. So I really need to catch up on that before I get spoiled on what's happening, because I really enjoyed Season 1. And apparently whatever the last episode was, episode 2 or 3, was really awesome and, really hurt people's feelings and blew people away. So I need to catch up on that. So that's what I'm doing in the TV world. I don't watch much TV other than sports, but excited for Andor and need to catch up on what is happened so far in The Last of Us Season 2. Both TV shows I'm really excited for. So talking about books, I got some book mail in the mail yesterday. It's been sitting all night waiting to open it. I've actually already opened it and put up a little short earlier today about what's inside, but we're going to pretend I haven't opened it yet for the surprise. I did not remember what this book was, so we're gonna fake open it really quick, and I'll pull the book out. And oh yes, I remember. This is Angel Down by Daniel Kraus. This is from Atria Books. So thank you, Atria, for sending this arc my way. I think in the earlier video I said it comes out in June. It actually comes out July 29th is the on sale date. I've read a few things from Daniel Kraus before. What was it called? The Ghost That Ate Us, I believe it's called. Let's see if he has all his books in here. Yeah, The Ghost That Ate Us, which was like a mockumentary ghost story about this haunted fast food burger joint, which was pretty cool. And then I read his most recent book, Whale Fall, which was awesome. I really love that book. That was a 5-star read. Super claustrophobic book. If you're claustrophobic, go into that one with maybe trigger warnings. I don't really do trigger warnings, but I enjoyed it, even though it made me cringe up at times, being confined inside of a whale's stomach. I don't think that's a spoiler. That's what the whole book is about. The kid gets swallowed and eaten by a whale. This is his newest novel coming out, Angel Down, and I'll give you a brief thing of what it's about because it sounds super interesting and cool. It's set during World War I. It says Angel Down plunges you into the heart of World War I and weaves a polyphonic tale of survival, supernatural wonder, and moral conflict. And it says, just part of the synopsis here, what they find amid the ruined battlefield, however, is not a man in need of mercy, but a fallen angel, seemingly struck down by artillery fire. And there's more on here. I won't go into any more, but this sounds really cool and kind of unique and interesting. What would happen when you find a real fallen angel in the middle of a battlefield during the First Great World War? Sounds like it'd be really cool. What is that going to do to the people that find it? They're going to try to use that angel for good or evil to sway one side of the war or the other. I don't know, but I'm excited to find out. This sounds really cool. This is Angel Down by Daniel Kraus. Again, thank you to Atria Books for sending this arc along my way. I do really appreciate it. Like I said, it comes out July 29th. I am going to try to read it and put up a proper review like I used to do. Haven't done a proper review video in probably a year and a half, going on 2 years or so. So I'm going to try to get that done and hopefully have it up, a week or two before that book is due to come out. So that's what I got in the mail. So super appreciative of that. And then what did I finish reading? So I finished up reading Winter's Bone by Daniel Woodrell. This is the Spinebreakers book club pick for the second quarter of this year. It's a short little book. It's under 200 pages. And I really quite enjoy this one. I started out loving it. I got a little slow towards the end for me, but overall I still really enjoyed the book. It's about the character, Ree. I don't think it ever says how old she is. I want to say she's between like 16, 17, and 18, somewhere in that range, maybe as old as 20, but somewhere in there. Her dad gets arrested, gets put out on bail, and for collateral, he puts up the family house and property, and he has to, show up to court and all that kind of stuff. He skips court, and if he doesn't show up to court, then the house is going to be taken away from the family and everything like that. So Ree sets out on this sort of quest to find her dad and bring him to court so the family doesn't end up being homeless. And it's kind of this journey. It takes place in the Ozarks. This journey through kind of family relations and what they have against the police. No one likes to talk to the police in this area, and just the struggles that she has to go through, not only with kind of being a woman in this type of situation in life, but being a young woman trying to take care of a family, dealing with these family relationships, like I said, where there's a lot of violence and drugs and things like that involved. Women are kind of looked down on as well. And just the struggles of just trying to survive and get by and do what she can do to protect herself and take care of herself and her family. I really dug it. It kind of turns into this mystery about where is the dad, what has happened to the dad, and Ree is trying to figure that out along the way. And I had some questions I posted in the Discord once I finished it up. I won't say what those are because it does spoil the book, but if we were supposed to know a certain thing that happens at the end, if you're interested what these are, like I said, the questions are on the Discord and some things like that. But overall, I really did enjoy it. I would definitely read more from Daniel Woodrell. Winter's Bone is my first novel from him. I'll definitely come back and read more. And I have not seen the movie yet. I did try to watch it the other day and had to download some random streaming app I've never heard of and play the movie, and it was just a black screen. It didn't play. So I'm going to have to try it again because I'm cheap. I don't want to pay to rent it if I can get it for free, but I might have to download it from like Amazon Prime or something like that. But yeah, this was good. I guess it's kind of a coming of age tale, if you want to call it that. Again, I'm not sure how old Ree is, but what she's dealing with is what she shouldn't really have to deal with. It should be the parents' responsibility. The mother's kind of sick. I think she's got dementia, but it doesn't really say that. So she's not really there to take care of anybody. And the dad has skipped out. So it's really all left to her, and her little brothers are like 9 and 7 or something like that. So she's taking care of them. Yeah, this was really good. I'm starting to ramble now, so I'll wrap it up. This is Winter's Bone by Daniel Woodrell. Really quite enjoy that one. And like I said, would go and read more of his work. So that's what I finished reading. What am I currently reading? Briefly, still listening to Two Towers on audiobook. Maybe got another hour or so into it. It's going to be a slow pace because I really only listen to it in the mornings when I take my kids to school and on the way back. Where are we at in there? We are where Merry and Pippin just went into Fangorn Forest, and then Legolas and Aragorn and Gimli, they just had interacted with the riders of Rohan and find out that the orcs they were chasing that had Merry and Pippin, they'd all been killed. They're worried the hobbits are dead, but we know that from the hobbits' perspective, they did escape and fled into Fangorn. So that's where I'm at there. I don't really remember how much I've got left, probably 17, 18 hours or so. So slowly but surely making my way through that one. I am really enjoying it though. Andy Serkis has done an excellent job with the narration of both this one and the previous one, The Fellowship of the Ring. So I'm currently listening to that. And then I also started Circe. I think I'm saying it right. I don't know. Circe by Madeline Miller. This is all Greek mythology. I am 155 pages into it. I had to stop in the middle of a chapter, but I'm 25% done, 30% done, somewhere like that. This one's really good so far. I'm sure, I can't see my camera, but I'm sure the light is acting crazy with this reflective cover. This is really cool so far. I'm enjoying it. I don't know, honestly, that much about Greek mythology. I know the basics about Zeus and Artemis and Hades and all that kind of stuff, but I'm actually learning some stuff from this book, like where the Minotaur came from and the Titans' relationship with the Olympians. I knew what the Titans were and the Olympians, but I didn't really know, what their relationship was together. Learning all kinds of cool stuff in here. Icarus is in here. Learned what, how he kind of came about. So cool stuff. And it's weird. This sounds like a negative, but I don't mean it as a negative. But it feels like I'm reading a more prose version of like a history textbook, if that kind of makes sense. Because I don't think Madeline Miller is really making anything up that isn't already part of Greek mythology. I might be mistaken on that, but I don't think she is. I think she's taken, the story of Circe and, all the background related to that and just kind of expanded that in this prose, novel style. So it feels like I'm reading a history textbook because I'm learning about it, but it also doesn't feel that at the same time because she's written it in prose instead of, a textbook kind of style. I hope that makes sense. It probably doesn't, but I hope it does make sense because it is really cool. I'm really digging it so far. Cool characters. I'm actually learning stuff, like I said, about Greek mythology and everything, and I'm enjoying it so far. Actually, more so than I was expecting to, if I'm being honest, because this book is pretty hyped up, and I figured it might not live up to the hype. I don't know if it's quite living up to the hype, but I am really enjoying it. It is very good so far, and I'm excited to finish it up because I honestly don't know anything about the story of Circe other than what I've read in here. I think the only thing I knew about her was she was somehow related to the story of Odysseus. I didn't know how that played out, but that's really the only thing I knew. So I'm excited to finish this one up. This is Circe by Madeline Miller. Really digging it so far. Cool to learn some stuff while you're reading your fiction book. So I hope to finish this one up by the end of the week and have it done and tell you my final thoughts on Circe. Really cool book so far. So those are the only things I'm currently reading. So what am I planning to read next? So last week I mentioned that I was hoping to get to The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones this month. I'm actually going to push it to next month in May because Kelly from Kelly Hooked on Books, she is going to be hosting a kind of a group buddy read, whoever wants to join in for this book next month on her Discord. So I'm going to hold off and join in on that for May and read along with Kelly and whoever else joins over on her Discord. I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm going to push this to May. Stephen Graham Jones, The Buffalo Hunter. So that's probably going to free up what I'm going to read next. And I'm going to try to get to Holly by Stephen King. I talked about this last week as well. Stephen King's next book comes out sometime in May. I don't know if it's the beginning or end of the month. It's called Never Flinch, if I'm not mistaken, and it's going to have the character Holly Gibney in it. This book is all about Holly, hence the title. This is the last Holly Gibney book I would need to read to catch up to be able to start Never Flinch. So I want to do that in case that spoils anything that may have happened in this book. So I'm planning to read Holly by Stephen King next so I can get caught up and dive into Never Flinch once that lands on my doorstep. And then other than that, I don't really know specifically what I want to read, but I feel like I'm in the mood for a short horror novella. I don't really know which one I want to read yet, so I'm going to go through the book pile back here and see if I can pick one out. The one I have in mind, I might not read this one, but the one I'm thinking about right now, and I didn't pick it up because it's somewhere in the stack, is, and I'm going to blank on the title. It's No Foster Homes for Flies. Is that right? By Chad Lutsky. I got to look it up to make sure really quick. Let's see. Is it No Foster Homes for Flies or No Foster Homes for Children? Let's see. Chad Lutsky. No Foster. Of Foster Homes and Flies is what it's called. I was close. I've been thinking about that one. I like Chad Lutsky. I haven't read any of his stuff in quite a while, and his stuff's really, really quick to get through. Sparse writing is, I don't know if that's the best descriptive term, because it sounds like a negative, but it's not. He gets in and out, gets right to the point. He always, cuts your heart out, makes you feel the emotions and everything with his books. So I might think of reading that one. We'll see what I end up picking up after I finish Circe. But other than that, I think that's all I've got for you guys today. So appreciate you hanging out, spending your time with me. Again, as always, let me know what you've been reading this week. And if you've read anything that I've read or currently reading, let me know what you thought about those down in the comments below. But again, thanks for hanging out with me today. Appreciate your time. Again, my name is Brad, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.